Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through some news here today. First off, I'm just going to play a couple excerpts of the question and answer after Carney announced his sovereign wealth fund. He calls it, but I call it a debt fund. He's likely to announce or to fund Brookfield's portfolio.
You said the goal of it is to grow wealth. And so I'm wondering to what extent, though, you have already coordinated or consulted with the provinces that really have control over. There is a lot of the oil and gas, for example, generating sectors, and Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland. How can you persuade them it's not ultimately a resource wealth grab?
Well, it's not. There's a series, sometimes, if I may, the discussion of how we're building the country, how Canadians are building the country, gets reduced to one sector or one type of infrastructure in one sector. There is a very broad range of things that Canadians are doing to grow Canada strong. That involves entirely new ports in the Arctic. It involves a host of critical minerals. It involves data infrastructure and other infrastructure that will be necessary. It involves a series of investments above and beyond the high-speed rail and others. Where there is at the heart of all of these projects, including in resources, provincial jurisdiction, including resources, where the federal government is catalyzing, helping to make the project happen through tax incentive, through some other support, regulatory or other support, and at the core there is a commercial business, a commercial project that is making a profit, it is fair, right, just, smart for Canadians to have a share directly of those profits. And that's what the fund is going to make possible, and this is a great thing for Canadians.
Brookfield banker, I guess. Let's listen to what Kate Harrison has to say here as well, because there's the economic announcement is today at 4 Eastern, I believe.
Tomorrow. The Prime Minister is suggesting, Kate, a smaller than the 75 in round number billion-dollar deficit in the spring economic update, and launching a sovereign wealth fund today, which the Conservatives criticize as a sovereign debt fund because they're going to borrow to endow it. Just what do you expect the takeaway to be tomorrow?
Just because it's a rosier picture on the deficit doesn't mean that it's a rosy picture, and I thought the Prime Minister was very careful in that interview not to say that there was something more coming for people's household debt. You know, Canada still has worst household debt in the G7, second highest unemployment in the G7. A sovereign wealth fund is a long-term game. There is a lot to criticize about the way this one in particular is set up. Namely, we don't have a lot of wealth to be investing right now. We are investing based on borrowing. It is not at all what Norway has done. Norway
it's more like Singapore.
Norway is not able to invest in its own domestic projects. Also, their fund is $2 trillion, and again, ours is actually being funded less than what the government funded the infrastructure bank. So I think if the big marquee announcement for tomorrow is the sovereign wealth fund, which looks a lot like previous government funds, Canadians are going to be asking what is in this economic update for them.
Yes, I don't know if it'll be a rosy deficit picture, but it'll be a rosemary picture tomorrow, as Rosemary Barton and me are going to be hosting a quick...
Trump is unhappy with the Iran latest proposal to end the war. Iran plans to set aside nuclear issues until war ends. Trump unhappy with delaying the deal on nuclear program. And Pakistan is in between this here, so there's a little bit more in depth here. Iran is proposing to reopen the strait while delaying nuclear talks with the United States, seeking lower the regional tensions first. Iran Foreign Ministry has carried out intensive diplomacy with Pakistan, Oman, Russia to build broader regional international banking. Pakistan is acting like a key mediator. Gulf states and European actors are engaged in cautiously prioritizing freedom of navigation, but remaining wary after recent attacks and escalation. Oil prices are over $100 a barrel now. Trump government extends the Jones Act, which is basically Jones requires goods hauled between the U.S. ports to be moved on U.S. flagged vessels. Passed in 1920, the law aims to protect the U.S. shipping sector, but it also faces criticism over the years of slowing the delivery of goods. So this just extension is to try to push that moving goods here quickly. But Trump's approval rating is falling sharply here as well. Some 77% of registered voters by the Reuters Ipsos Reid poll has concluded earlier this week that Trump bears at least a fair amount of responsibility of the recent rise in gas prices. So it's not good. Winter wheat ratings, I just took this from Brian here. You can see that they're basically flattened out from 1 week to the next here. But when you're looking at Kansas specifically, you can see the drop is quite substantial. It's not at the bottom end, but rain here in the next short while could actually help yields. It did last year with a drought that was sitting in that same area. So we'll have to see if that can actually play out. So what's playing out is a corridor where there's rain and then no rain and then rain again, and like you've got these multiple corridors where there's rain. So you got a rain here, rain here. It does look like it's going to be shifting, so longer range forecasts. But this is, just showing all the weather models where it's leaving this deficit. Doesn't matter which weather model you're looking at, all showing the same thing for the next 7 days. 3 to 4 week outlook. It's been cold here, and it looks like it's going to continue for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then there's just regular rainfall, but it looks like there's going to be more rain showing up in some of these areas here. Quick look at the market here. Canola is up $3 at 344 or 744.80. November contract is at 741.40, up 340. Rapeseed is up $2.25 at 511. Soybean oil is up 0.15 of a penny at 71.82. Palm oil is basically unchanged. Crude oil is up just shy of $4 at $100.33 a barrel. Your New York diesel is at 388, just up a fraction of a penny. Soybeans are down 1.5 cents at 11.90. Soybean meal is up $1.30 short ton. Spring wheat is up 8.75 cents, above the 703 now finally. And winter wheat is up 19 cents at 6.94, and your Chicago wheat is up 13 cents at 6.73. Corn is up 4 cents, and the Canadian dollar is just slightly down. 20 dips. So just quick look here. So I did a 1 week chart here just to see, to try to put in some more time. So if you put in that, it adds up to the same kind of area that I've been talking about. We are still not through that decision level at the 750. That is an area that we would have to consider whether this is going to flip over or not. If it keeps going, we just stay on our longs and wait for the signal to sell. Same thing with new crop here. We're just making it through this decision level area right now, or just getting to it. Same thing. We would be waiting for that decision to sell. Your European rapeseed, a 1 week chart, looks a lot flatter. Here's your August contract, just making through and making higher highs. Soybean oil making higher highs as well. Crude oil, a fairly substantial green candle, up $4 today. Your diesel fuel futures is trying to get back to some of the highs that we made in the past there. Gasoline is making new highs here as well. Canadian dollar, and just looking at there's a rate announcement today, and then tomorrow for the Fed rate. And part of the difference here is just, we've got a lower rate than the U.S. And expectations are not to change anything. Outlook is, most just to stay flat, basically. Canadian dollar here, you can see that we've pulled back from the values that we made highs of yesterday in the last month, basically. So the 1 week chart on Minneapolis, we're just at the 200-week average, very close to it right now. We'll see if we can get through there. Then we're looking for these other values on Fibonacci extension and your past high that was made here. And here's your July contract, and these are the values looking for there as well. Kansas broke out, making new highs on the weekly chart as well. So your 200-week moving average, we got through it last week, and now we're trading above it. Still looking at this 740 to 745 kind of area. Your Kansas week to July contract, and what values are we looking for there as well. And the weekly chart on your Chicago wheat, it broke out. And if we look at it on the July contract, we broke out and finally, and we're what the upside, the full upside would be there. Not to say that it's going to have to go there with any of the wheat contracts, but it's just the next